Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to call to order Taft City Council meeting. This evening we will be holding both a regular and a special meeting at the same time. And I will now call to order the Taft City Council Successor Agency Joint Regular Meeting and the Taft City Council Successor Agency Special Meeting for Tuesday, August 4th, 2015. At this time, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll have an invocation by Rodney Wyckoff of West Hills Church of Lazarus. If you'll join me as we salute our nation's flag, hand over your heart, and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. I pray that you would be with this meeting, especially tonight, that you would guide the council members, lead them in decision making, help them to make the very best decisions they can. I want to pray for our city police this evening. We pray that you would be with each one, that you would protect them, help them in their job of protecting us, enforcing the law, and we want to just pray for their safety and that you would keep them in your care in all that they do. We appreciate what they do. We thank you for this fine city we're a part of. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Rodney. I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Madam Clerk, will you take roll call, please?
Mayor Miller.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem North. Absent. Councilmember Cryer.
Here.
Councilmember Bryant.
Here.
Councilmember Hill. Here.
We're going to open with a special meeting, and let's see. We'll do that. Okay, special meeting item number 2, amended improvement agreement with Colston Construction, Inc. for investing tentative track map number 7227, Phase 1. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. On July 21st, 2015, the City Council voted unanimously to approve final map and improvement agreement with Colston Construction for vesting tentative track map number 7227, Phase 1. Upon final review of the agreement before signing, Colston Construction found that Section 7, the improvement agreement, was redundant with the notice of completion requirements and releasing the improvement security listed in Section 4 of the agreement. Furthermore, Section 7D provided the City Council at an undefined open-ended dollar amount which to withhold when releasing the improvement security in order to cover public improvement defects. Colston Construction proposed the deletion of Section 7 so there is no amount of the improvement security retained by the city. Section 4 of the agreement provides direction for completion of work and reduction and releasing the improvement security. Furthermore, Section 5 requires Colston Construction to be responsible for defects found in the completed public improvements for a period up to 1 year. Attached is revised improvement agreement with Section 7 deleted and new Sections 5, formerly Section 4D and E regarding the reduction and releasing of the improvement security. City staff and the city attorney advise the City Council that jurisdictions typically retain some sort of improvement security to further reinforce the developer's obligation. New Section 6 ensure defective improvement work is repaired or replaced. It is the City Council's discretion to concur with Colston's Construction in deletion of Section 7 and not retain improvement security. And if you would like a simplified version of that, Mr. Staples would be happy to...
Okay. Mr. Staples.
Thank you, Mark Staples, Planning Director for the City of Taft. I think I'll just repeat what I mentioned to Councilmember Bryan, who contacted me regarding this special item that we're reviewing today. Basically, the former Section 7 in the improvement agreement is a typical section found in most improvement agreements for tentative track maps. And previously, in a prior edited version, normally 50% of the improvement value of the work for that Phase 1 track would be retained by a city to cover any defects after all the work is completed. There is still some time period that a developer is responsible for making sure the roads, the sewer, and those things are still intact 12 months later, and the city has some financial teeth to pull back on that developer. But the proposal by Colson Construction was the original $699,000 singular line of credit document for the improvements that are out there. So the remaining language that was in the original agreement kind of left an open-ended, the city may retain some amount, and it wasn't specified at a percentage or a specific dollar amount. And so he was feeling somewhat uneasy about the uncertainty of the enforcement of that provision. So what you have before you is section 4, or the new section 5, I believe it is, provides the process by which the reduction or release of the security, which is the letter of credit that they will be posting, and then you have section 6, which is a guarantee against effects. So the developer is still on the hook for a year for any defects we find, cracks in the pavement, misalignments in a curbing or a curb or a ramp that the concrete just fails for whatever reason. They have to do the repair work on that. We just don't have the extra security bond to do the work ourselves without us paying out of pocket. But it's a relatively small phase of the subdivision, so it's not seen as too much of a risk, and that's why this is being brought before you.
And he's still putting up the $690,000.
Correct.
Letter of credit for $699.
And as he completes each phase, which he has 3 phases left with the street, water, and electrical cable utilities to install.
I noticed today they were putting curbs in.
Curb just started, yes, sir.
Okay. All righty. Well, the recommendation is a motion to approve the amended improvement agreement with Colson Construction, Inc. for vesting tentative track map number 727, Phase 1.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cryer and a second by Mr. Hill. Do we have any discussion
No comment.
on this? Ryan? Okay. Can you pull the board, please? Council?
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Councilmember Hill? Yes. Councilmember Cryer?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
Yes, and that passes on a 4-0 with 1 absence. Okay, now we're going to go back to our regular council joint regular meeting and start out with item number 1, proclamations, and one for Pacific Gas Electric Company and one for the National Safe Digging Day. And Mr. Cryer is going to read the National Safe Digging Day.
Thank you, Mayor. Getting older. Well, not quite as long. August 11th, National Safety Digging Day. Rouse 811, Call Before You Dig program is a vital public education and an awareness program that will help keep Californians safe. And education is the key to promoting safe digging practices. And Rouse, excavators, homeowners, and professional contractors can save time and money while making California communities a safer place to live and work by dialing 811 in advance of all digging projects. And whereas utility lines are often buried only a few inches underground, making them easy to strike and cause damage and harm, even during shallow excavation projects. And whereas more than 170,000 underground utility lines are struck each year in the United States, and approximately 33% of all digging damages in the United States result from not calling 811 before digging. And whereas the free notification service provided by the Underground Service Alert of Northern California and Nevada has dramatically reduced the number of accidents causing property damage and personal injury interruptions of vital services. And whereas California public agencies should enforce California Government Code 4216 regarding safe excavation practices, permitting, and civil penalties. Now therefore be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Taft proclaims August 11th, 2015 as National Safe Digging Day and encourage all excavators, homeowners, professional contractors to call 811 in advance for all digging projects. Signed and dated this 4th day of August 2015 by Mayor Randy Miller and all council members.
We're going to send that off to somebody, or?
Over here.
Oh, somebody here? Oh,
She's here for both.
oh, she's here for both. Oh, okay. Well, we have a PG&E representative here, Kristen Dowd, with the Governmental Relations Representative with PG&E. So I'll read the PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric. Whereas Taft is one of the only remaining communities in California to continue to exist on oil extractions, and whereas in order to sustain our long-term economic base, the city and the Chamber of Commerce have an extensive array of programs to strengthen the downtown business hub to make Taft a regional center for commerce. And whereas one of our primary efforts is the continuing revitalization of downtown Taft is to make the area clean, attractive, and supportive of new commercial business. And whereas the city of Taft has been able to purchase a 40-gallon trash receptacle with the help of Pacific Gas and Electric Company's grant for downtown revitalization. Now therefore, be it resolved, the City Council of the City of Taft thanks let's just call you PG&E, for helping the downtown beautification of our community. Signed and dated this 4th day of August 2015, signed by myself and the other council members. Well, Ms. Dowd, if you'd come up and get a quick picture, and we'll have you.
This was $1,000 trash bag, too.
It's always more expensive when it comes to government fire. You need to get some folding chairs up here.
Is that okay?
Yeah, if it was an Android, I'd be in trouble. I don't have an iPhone too. Okay, we'll do it. All right. We will do it this
Come on over here.
Yeah, you're so warm and welcome.
Go get it. Right on the outside. You're always on the outside. There we go.
Yeah, too.
I'm trying to get National Speaking Day off. That's what we're doing holiday. Here we go. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Now one more here just to make sure. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now.
Big boy camera.
Okay, we'll do this. Ready? On the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now. Okay, one more here. Okay, cool.
Great, thank you so much.
People have a pretty rough day.
This is going to take a little bit of creative. Let's do this.
I stand back here and quiet.
It's like playing a game of Tetris. Nice catch. That's pretty good.
You do safety, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Lost y'all clean.
There's not a lot of room for all of us.
You know, we don't always get to thank Doug for the driller for taking our pictures here, and you get them published. And I haven't thanked you in a long time, Doug, and thank you so much for all that you do for the council and doing that for us. All right, well then, send us a bill. Ms. Dowd, you're on.
Well, I would like to thank the mayor and the city council and the city staff for partnering with PG&E on both of these proclamations. It's our pleasure to serve the customers of the community of Taft, and it's also our pleasure to be able to partner with you on projects like the Downtown Revitalization Project. And we also really appreciate you being willing to highlight the importance of the 811 program. A lot of people do not know about it, and it is such a critical program to keep our community safe and also to ensure that there's not interrupted service. It's a free program, and if you ever have some kind of construction project, or if you're just doing a home improvement project where maybe you're digging to put in a fence or something like that, you just call 811 2 days before your project. They'll come out and mark all of the utility lines so that you're sure not to hit anything underground, and it's completely free. So I would encourage you all to use it personally, but also, you know, to ensure that your community knows about it as well, so that we don't have accidents. So thanks again, and I hope you have a great night.
Well, thank you for being a great partner with the City of Taft and the Chamber of Commerce.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Okay. Item number 2, citizens' request for public comments. This is the time and place for the general public to address the city council on matters within its jurisdiction. State law prohibits the council from addressing any issue not previously included on the agenda. Council may receive comment and set the matter for a subsequent meeting. Please limit comments to 5 minutes. First up is Bob Jordan with the Westside Christian Ministers Association.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to, everybody knows that October 9th is the Oil Dorado kickoff concert. And right now, they're happy to tell you that tickets are available. You can contact your local ministers, And they are available now all the way up to the day. And we also now are looking for volunteers to help us with setup. We need people to help us with prayer sessions, and there's a training program, and there'll be a big rally beforewards. So we do need extra help from the community at large. And also on August the 14th, there is a program that's starting. It's on human trafficking. And it's beginning to be a horrible problem throughout the world, and it's even affecting us here in Taft. And it will be at 5:30 at the St. Andrew's Church, and we should all go and learn what our world is turning to. And I thank you.
All right, Bob, thank you. October 9th is the kickoff of Oil Dorado, and Civic Luncheon is that morning, and then the Christian concert is that evening. So the changeover from the luncheon to the concert that's where the help is needed. So we really do need to help the community. And if you got time, come down and lend a hand, be a part of Oil Dorado.
Check with your local minister.
There you go. Next up is Dr. Kathy Oren with the Taft Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau.
Good evening. It's nice to be here. Nice to see all of you. I want to thank PG&E for being a good partner with us. That is a beautiful trash can, for those of you that haven't seen it, and expensive. It's amazing how expensive trash cans have gotten this time. But it's beautiful, and we thank them for their partnership with us. I want to remind folks that Cruise Night is Friday night, and as we get closer and closer to Oil Dorado, we're seeing a much greater interest in Cruise Night. People are enjoying getting downtown and staying downtown and showing off their cars, and that's wonderful. This Saturday, and it's too soon, but it's already time to get ready for back to school. The Assembly of God Church on Lyerly is going to continue what they do each year, and that's offer services for kids to help them get ready to get back to school. And they include haircuts, some just needed things that kids need. People have been collecting backpacks and school supplies and so forth. So if you are needing school supplies for your child, you can go to the Assembly of God Church on Saturday, and there will be plenty of goods and services there to help you. Also, the Methodist Church on North Street is kind of going to be the center for the clothing drive part of the back to school. They have organized themselves so that you will find children's clothes, most of them gently used, because kids grow out of clothes very quickly. So if you are looking for clothing appropriate for school, and that's a situation for you this year, you can go to the Methodist Church also on Saturday, and they will have clothing available for giveaway. I want to remind everybody that Oil Dorado is just around the corner, and we are not in charge of Oil Dorado at the Chamber, but we are certainly a support service for that. Tickets are available online, as you've heard, for the Sidewalk Prophets concert on the 9th, which is in the tent. Also, Oil Stock is the second weekend of Oil Dorado, and that is a 3-evening concert, and tickets are available for that online. There are a lot of things going on in Oil Dorado. If you want an event scheduled, you need to get to the Chamber, fill out the form so that you can get your event on the schedule. The Midway Jeweler has been running schedules of those events that are already scheduled and have made it to the official calendar. But I've heard from many people who have a great idea for an event. It isn't an event until the executive board says it's an event. So you can start with filling out an event form. Also, vendors, if you are interested in selling during either of the 2 or both of the 2 weekends of Oil Dorado, you need to get your paperwork done. If you are selling, you need to have a business license with the City of Taft, and that you don't get that at the Chamber. You get that at City Hall. So there are a lot of things that I hear going around, people asking me questions about, but you need to understand that the Oil Dorado celebration is controlled by the Oil Dorado Committee, and they need time to know what you have planned, and they need to put their stamp of approval on it. We're looking forward to Oil Dorado this year. It's going to be great fun, and I encourage folks to get started on their plans for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Horn. Move on to item number 3, council statements, non-action. Councilman Hill.
I have none, thank you, Mayor.
All right, Councilman Bryant.
Just one quick thing. As many of you may or may not know, there's a favorite son of Taft who's had a very illustrious career. The last 18 years, the last 10 years as a professional athlete, one of those spent as an Olympian. Billy Nelson decided he was going to call it a career as a professional runner. And so from my seat up here, and as a friend and as a brother, I want to say congratulations, and we wish you the best, and you've made us all very proud. And I hope everybody else that happens to see him would wish him the same. Hopefully in the future we might consider some sort of commendation or proclamation as an official congratulations on a great career, but he's still got a long coaching career ahead of him. So I just wanted to make everybody aware of that and say congratulations. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cryer.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to acknowledge the fine job that the Chamber of Commerce is doing to our city. They really work hard what they do. You go in the office there, the girls there, they're always busy and on the phone, and sometimes even hard to get through on the phone and get to them. The phone's always busy. But they're doing a fine job, and especially now in these trying times. You read in the news, the national news, they say that last month is down 0.2%, the economy. This month is up 2.5%. And unemployment is in the 42-year low. You hear that? I don't know. I hope everybody here is hiring like crazy and enjoying their prosperity according to the numbers, but I don't see it here, at least out here in California, because if we were doing really good in the U.S., you see oil prices being higher. Why is oil prices low? It's not because of too much oil. In the case of this, not because of producing oil, I should say. It's because people are not buying anything. What do they use oil for? Shoes, clothes, plastics. If they're consuming, all the manufacturers will be making those products and people will be buying it. We're not buying it. Nobody's buying it. That's why the oil industry is in a slump. And when the oil industry is in a slump, it affects everybody. Manufacturing, purchasing. It affects all different businesses and affects the tax base. We got our sales tax down. Everywhere you go, everybody's sales tax is down. So I don't believe what you hear in the paper that everything's getting better. Until I start seeing oil prices going up, then I see the economy is getting better. But I do want to thank the Chamber, what they do, especially for Oil Dorado, because their opportunity to showcase our city and hopefully bring more business here and bring some new dollars in the town, not circulating the old dollars. So thank you, Mayor. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. In regard to Billy Nelson, my daughter was also a cross-country runner at the same time. He was a year older, and he was a bullet. And I would concur on something resolution for Billy, if you can get some stats and stuff to the city clerk, and they'll put something together for him. I'd like to mention a special person that has just recently passed. I happened to volunteer up the Need Center and have so for the last 6 years. And it was a wonderful little short workaholic lady that worked there on Mondays and Fridays almost every week that I've been there, and her name was Joanne Bledsoe. And she was just a wonderful woman. She was a true Christian. She would help youth, helped in her church, which is the First Baptist Church, since 1955, I think it was. And she was just a great lady. Her and her husband were quite a couple here. Bob, he passed away about 8 years ago. They were just a true Taftians. You know, they didn't just reside here. They lived here and had a good life. And I just want to say how much that I miss Joanne and her smile and her kindness and her big heart that she had. And it's just sad that another one has passed on. So Anyway, I just want to wish the best to the Bledsoe family and all her family and friends that too have a little hole in their heart for Joanne. That's all I have. The next item on the agenda is Planning Commission report. I see that we have Jerry Livingston here.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Planning Commission report. We had the second half of a construction project come for us for site plan review. The same family that built and operates Taco Bell received approval for their site plan for a automated car wash and about almost, I think, 10,000 square feet of retail, 2 buildings towards the back of the lot, about 6,000 and 4,000 each when complete. The design will match the design for the Taco Bell, so the whole piece will be a nice whole, if you will. And that was it for the Planning Commission, except for a few updates on our housing element, which I think we're going to be seeing more of really in the fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for your service. Item number 5, city manager statements.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to update the council. The CCF received a report dated June 23rd from the Chief Deputy Warden Michael Williams. They determined the TAP CCF is in full compliance, and that was an audit we had. We had a few items outstanding that we had to take care of, and they came back and said that we were in full compliance. So, update on the CCF from a little over a month ago. 2 things that are going on. The planning department will be issuing an RFP for the design services and civil work for the transit center located on Supply Road next to the oil worker monument. So that project's moving forward, and then we have advertised the construction phase of Rails to Trails 4, which is from 2nd to just shy of Highway 33 behind the Oil Museum. And another item to be brought up is just to let everybody know that our city wastewater treatment plant and our collection system is now operated and ran by Kern Sanitation Authority. We have contracted with them. That was brought to the council. They've been on the ground for a little over a month now and seem to be doing very well. So, and they're an agency under the county of Kern, so they're not actually the county of Kern, they're another entity under the county of Kern, but they're doing a good job, so we thank them for being here and saving us some money and doing a good job. So that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Item number 6, department reports. Do we have any reports from our departments? Everything's coming along pretty good, so we'll move on to item number 7, city attorney statement.
Mr. Mayor, no statement.
No statements again tonight? One of these nights, we're going to get you to say something, so.
Turn over.
Yeah, there we go. We'll get you arrested and thrown out. Item number 8, future agenda requests. Is there any council persons that have agenda requests they'd like? Councilman Hill?
As a reminder that school's starting shortly, I would like, if we could, to have a proclamation regarding pedestrian safety. Perhaps we could get the superintendent of the schools to come in and, we need to do something to make sure these kids are paying attention to what's going on. And we've talked about this before a few weeks ago, and I think it might be a nice reminder just to keep it in everybody's mind that there's kids out there in the street. We need to make sure we don't run over them. They don't always pay attention to what we're doing.
I'd concur with that.
Okay, we have Councilman Hill and concurrence by Councilman Bryant. So do you have some verbiage or information or
maybe we can get with Craig, I can get with you later on. We can maybe talk about that and talk to Julie at the schools and see what, might work out.
You're planning on wanting to have this for the next council meeting?
It'd be nice if we could, since school should be just starting about the same time.
Sounds good. All right.
And I would like to just reiterate my request to have maybe a week in September or a day in September as a proclamation of maybe Billy Nelson Day, something of that nature.
Okay, I concur with that. All right, Madam Clerk, you got that?
And I'm sure you can provide information.
Absolutely.
All right. If not, anything else, then we'll move on to the consent calendars, item 9 through 16. All items listed on the consent calendar shall be considered routine and will be enacted by one roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the city council requests specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. Any item removed from the consent calendar will be considered after the regular business items. Are there any items on the consent calendar that any member of the public would like to comment on? Seeing none, we'll move on. All right, here we go. Item number 9, minutes, July 21, 2015, regular meeting. Item 10, payment of bills. Item 11, revised salary ranges for the classification of dispatcher, matron 1 and 2. Item 12, change the classification of support services assistant and adjust salary range. Item 13, purchase of RIMS property room software and hardware for the police property room in the amount of $9,217. Purchase of RIMS State Link software for police dispatch. That's in the amount of $7,390. Item 15, renewal of the MOU with the Taft Union High School for a full-time paid school resource officer. Item 16, approval to renew the MOU with the Taft Community College District for police services. Are there any items that the councilman would like to pull off the consent calendar? Okay, so the consent calendar items will be, we will be voting on item 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16.
Motion.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second. I have a motion and a second. With no further discussion, Madam Clerk, will you take roll call, please?
Councilmember Bryant?
Yes.
Councilmember Hill?
Yes.
Councilmember Pryor?
Yes.
Mayor Miller?
And yes, and that passes on a 4-0 vote, and with one absence. The next item on the agenda is a closed session. We'll be going into closed session for item A, performance evaluation, government code section 54957, city manager. Thank you so much for your attendance and being with us tonight, and we are now in closed session.